The Switch 2 is finally here, so we're going to start a brand new first owner only account and see if we can beat FC on the Nintendo Switch 2. The rules for this account are simple. We must only use players we have packed, so no purchases from the transfer market. Our aim is to reach a 95 rated squad in a week and to reach at least rank 3 in FUT Champions. Let's see how we do. Before even getting into the account, EA would drop a message saying we had gotten the second half pack, which gives us an icon for 20 games and an ambassador player. So we loaded up the introduction screen for Ultimate Team and chose England as our starting nation, and this would give us Besiktas's Oxlade-Chamberlain. So this was the current dream team, with mainly bronzes. For the loan, we would go with bronze for the English links. On the Switch, consumables are usually much more expensive compared to consoles. So are the kits. So we picked up Poland and Ajax's kit with the Netherlands badge. EA also gave us the Nation Challenge pack, which in June gave you 5 common golds. So this would only help like 2 people in the world at this point. But for us, it was more players for the club. For the ambassador player, we got a player who would be useful in our team, and this was Mr. Chippy Chips himself, Cole Palmer. For the one of 6 loans, we got a choice between Lahm, Van Persie, Henry, Beckham, Baggio, and Mia Hamm. Hamm was the best stats-wise, but on the Switch, pace is king, and Henry with his rapid playstyle plus was the choice, so we got him for 20 games. In the SBC section, we would complete the daily silver, bronze, and gold upgrades to get the first set of new players in the club and to help with future SBCs. We would try and open the silver upgrade pack, and it would crash the game. With this Switch account, we are at the beginning of Season 8, called Shapeshifters, so we are going to purchase the Season Pass so we could see how the shapeshifter players feel. And as we needed SP now, we would go into Manager Career Mode and the Player Career Mode, where to make things go quicker, our team unleashed true Brexit ball football and were two-footing everything that moved. And Garnacho was so into it, game-ending cock, only to go in straight for another challenge. With 5 red cards, the game would automatically forfeit, but it did count. Player career was a bit longer, as we couldn't really do the Brexit ball strat, but the nice thing for the Switch 2 was the loading times had been significantly reduced, so getting into the games was a lot quicker now. With these games completed, we returned back to Ultimate Team, where we'd gotten 3,000 SP points for the season, and from the gold upgrade packs, we would get some more Premier League players in the club, like Grealish and Robertson. In the season pass, we were able to claim our first player, and this was a choice between Alexis Sanchez and Pedro. Both look fantastic. It appears that they didn't have any playstyles, which would be a problem. They do, this was just a visual problem. But with this, we had to make a decision, and as there were so many attacking players available in the early levels of the season pass, we would choose Pedro, as he is in 9 goal and gang, can play as a winger or a fullback, and will likely stay in the team longer than Sanchez. Then from the level 3 rewards, we would get our first walkout from a tradable pack, and this was Bayern Munich's Schüller, and as she was an 86 rated, she was needed for the Encore player pick in the SBC section, so she was nearly extinct at 10k. After this, we would turn our attention to the SBCs and the Team of the Season crafting upgrade. As for 9 gold players, with 2 of them being rare, you could get a 77/5 upgrade. And with these packs, there was also the Team of the Season crafting upgrade SBC completionist, and this gave out even more packs. From these packs, we would get a few more walkouts for the account, and they started off with a French goalkeeper from Milan in Mainan, and also City's Edison. I would then remember to sell the kits and badges, and these went for a few thousand coins each. Now we would go on to build our first set of 86 plus player picks, and the game was in a very strange place, as out of our first pick we got Little, Erdegaard and Hedgeberg, but Little was the choice, as she was the most valuable for us due to her being an 86 rated. The following pick we would get our first team of the season in Big Ass, who has 91 pace, 93 defending and 92 physical. We would also get Tar. There was also the 83/14s, which we would go on to complete, and the nice thing about the Switch 2 was now the menu times were massively reduced too, and this was great as it would allow us to complete more SBCs on the account. And from the first pack, we would get into Sommer, but again, like the Switch, double walkouts are not a thing. So there was Mr. Duolingo himself in Trent Alexander-Arnold in the back of the pack, who is also a walkout. We also got Hedgeberg, Ruben Diaz, Rice, and Courtois, but from an 85/3, we would get ourselves another team of the season in a French centre-back that plays for Al Nassr in Simakan. All these pack pulls would mean that we were able to complete our first Encore pick, which was 5 86 rated players and an 87 rated squad. The nice thing about the Encore pick was that it was not too expensive, and it could help out most people as it gave them a chance of pulling players that they missed earlier out in the year, like players from your favourite club or country. Also, Team of the Years were available in this, which still held up today, but they were extremely rare. And from our first 15 players, we would go with another Al Nassr player in FUT Birthday Duran, who has 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot. It was time for us to go into division rivals, where this was the team with Henry and Duran as our front two. For our first game in division rivals, in Division 10, we would come up against a squad that was mainly a gold team, but they did have 3 team of the seasons, with Evander being the main threat. Within the first 5 minutes, I was reminded about defending on the switch, and how it is just vibes, and we would concede. Thankfully, Henry would get the ball before De Gea, who wiped him out, and this got us back level, but I still needed to get adjusted to defending, as I just let Evander walk by, and he got the goal. Again, Henry would be the one to rescue us and get the goal, and this would be wrapped up 9-3 with a nice rainbow flick volley by Pedro, but this was a difficult game for Division 10. The following game, our opponent would crunch Duran from behind, and this would lead to the straight red, and Pedro would utilise his quick step plus, and Henry finished his chance. We were now into the promotion game for Division 9, and the team we would face was a full special squad with Zizou. Duran would break through, getting us the first goal, but on the switch, crossing seemed to be an option too, and we would concede to this. I would then make a mistake with Big Ass, and would be punished for this, but Pedro was the man, and it was clear that rapid and quick step are still ridiculously broken on the Nintendo. But there was another playstyle that was broken, but we will have to wait until we have a player with this playstyle. The game was wrapped up by Mahrez, and we were promoted into Division 9. With these games, we completed the first section for the Lunar objective, which for the packs, we would get another walkout in Aston Villa's Martinez, and from the 83x5 we would get a team of the season highlights from the Indian Super League in Alberto, who is another 90 pace centre back for the team, and on the switch Jockey was a must have for defenders, so this was a great pickup. In the SBC section it was time to complete our first team of the season player, and this would be a player from the MLS in Boanga, who was an 82 and 85 rated squad, but the nice thing with the 85 rated squad was that we got Hugo Lloris as the reward, which seems better than getting a gold pack or something. Hopefully EA keep these extra players in SBCs for the future. Boanga does have 96 pace with low driven and quick step plus, so he should be great for the team. With Boanga, we dropped Pedro back to our left back, and now our whole defence was team of the season or shapeshifters. The midfield was the weakest part of the squad, so we would complete another player SBC, and this would be Al Jawair, who was another member of Nine Golan Gang, which is crazy as he only costed an 85 rated squad. So we were now nearly at a full special squad. It was time for us to go into a new mode, and this was Rush. As for the season objective, we had to play Rush games, and at the best of times, Rush can be a nice experience, or you will lose brain cells playing with randoms. Fortunately, for these games, we would get quite lucky with our teammates, and we would mainly use Simakan for these games, as he's got good all-round stats for a defender, and has pinged pass, which would help with counter-attacks. As crossing was an option, and leaving Team of the Season Mbappe meant we could get an easy assist. And for our final assist, we got lucky as it was a great block by the defender, but the ball bounced to our teammate for the goal. From the Rush games, we had gotten ourselves 10,000 points, so this gave us an 83x5 and an 82x7. From one of these packs, we would get another team of the season in a Spanish centre-back, and this would be a duplicate Big Ass. It was time for us to go into a different game mode, and this was the Friendlies game mode, where there was the Saudi Cup or the MLS Cup. The Saudi Cup was impossible to find games, and it was difficult to find games in the MLS Cup, but we were able to. The nice thing was we only had to remove one player from our team, and this was 95 rated Pedro. But things would get strange on the account, as we would go into the game and Boanga would get his goal for us, but in the 63rd minute our opponent's Fernandes would get the equaliser, and then it was time for the penalty shootout, where it would start off great for us with Lloris making the crucial first save, and it would go back and forth until we got to Al Jawair, who would hit the post and then would just be standing around. And Al Jawair kept creeping up to Milinkovic-Savic in goal and kept crossing his arms, and Milinkovic-Savic had enough of this awkwardness and just ran away. And never came back, and as we were frozen, we had to close the application. Then in the next game, the exact same thing would happen, whereas our Lloris was not waiting around and dipped immediately. So we had just lost 2 matches due to the broken penalties. This mode in general just seemed to be a bit broken, with the following game our Boanga flooring the opponent to get the easy tap in. From this, we would get a couple packs for playing these games, and more importantly, this has got us up to level 5 in the season pass. From the free side of the pass, we had a choice between Griffo, El Shawari, and an 83/10. A lot of people have hyped up how good Griffo is, but on the Switch account, we have to go with the MVP of last time we were on the Switch, and this is El Shawari. From the premium side, we had a choice between Tamori, Lenomard, and a tradable 83/7. So we would go with Tamori. The packs on the account would also give us some extra players for the club, with the walkout from Wolfsburg in pop, and an 85 combo pack would give us a new 95 rated team of the season player who plays for Inter Miami, and this was Jordi Alba, who has intercept, rapid and tiki-taka with 96 pace and 95 dribbling, so he will be our attacking fullback in the team. With all the fodder added to the club, we would then have the ability to complete another encore player pick. And the nice thing with these is if it is bad, you can always pick an 86, as this knocks off one player for next time you have to complete it. But as this is a new account, most of these players would be super subs for us, so we would go with FUT Birthday Kelly. There was also Team of the Season Hamdallah available, who for just an 84 rated squad was a steal, as this gave us a 90 rated team of the season that could be used for premium SBCs. But for the time being, he could play as our cam, and does have 92 passing, so we'd bring him into the team, and now we had a 92 rated squad with 3 shapeshifter players. We were returned back to rivals, and now in Division 9, most teams were full team of the season squads, but usually from the lesser leagues, as they were really cheap. But one thing was clear, El Shawari was still broken, and the other playstyle that was really good on Switch compared to consoles is Trickster, as the ability to change direction rapidly just broke the game and would open up many more chances. El Shawari also has finesse shots, so he can cut in and use them. He also has tiki-taka, which with everyone's players being so highly rated, was another way to get past low block teams. Some of our opponents were tired of El Shawari already and would just finish him off with taking out his legs. With this, we were already in the promotion game, which was actually the weakest side we had faced in Division 9, with it being mainly a gold squad with a few team of the seasons and an icon. The game would start with Boanga sliding the ball through to El Shawari, who would hit the finesse to get us 1-0 up in the game, and El Shawari would get another chance and would go near post. And just after the 16th minute, El Shawari would show his defensive capabilities, tackle the ball, get back up off the floor, and convert the chance, giving him a hat-trick, which caused our opponent to leave, and we were now in Division 8. With the promotion game, we had completed the Team of the Season honourable mentions, Diego Luna, who could play on the wing or cam, and with Luna, he has all the ball control playstyles, with Rapid and First Touch Plus being the playstyle pluses. He also has Low Driven, which is the best shooting playstyle at the moment. From the 84/7, from the objectives, we would get a brand new team of the season for the account, and this was another player from Al Nassr in Bushal. So it feels like we're getting the whole Al Nassr team, apart from CR7. We would then pick up Little from the market for 10k, and she was the only one on the market. And from this player pick, we would get a very strong defender in Diaz's FUT birthday card, but it got even better, as we would get Team of the Year Salah. So he was the obvious choice on the account, and he is still 1,000,000 coins. This version of Salah has Rapid, Finesse and Trickster playstyle pluses and has 96 pace and dribbling. We would then put our new Team of the Year Salah in the squad, but unlike the Team of the Seasons, the Team of the Years do not get a chem boost, so we're just going to have to play him on 0 chemistry. We would then return to Rivals, where we were now in Division 8 and faced a very strong side, but this is where the Trickster would highlight its jamminess on the Switch, with El Shawari getting the goal, followed up with him getting the brace, but our opponent would get a chance, and our Lloris would have paper hands, letting it go in. But somehow in this game, Lloris would not be the worst goalkeeper, as our opponent laid the ball back to their keeper, who just completely missed the ball, and Salah would use the broken combo of Trickster and Rapid, and would get his debut goal. And to end this game, Salah would get a chance on the wing, where Milinkovic-Savic would bulldoze through him, giving us a penalty, to which we converted. We would continue on with Rivals, where we were starting to get the hang of free kicks, and Salah would hit the outside the box finesse, and now it was time for the promotion game for Division 7, and our opponent had a full team of the season squad, but there was a red Lewandowski up front, so this was a champs player in Division 8. And Lewandowski was a problem this game, with him getting through and smashing it across body, to give our opponent the lead. El Shawari would get us back drawing with a nice finish in the box, but Lewandowski would again convert his chance in the box, so we would ping the ball into Salah, who would hit the finesse, and for our third, we would get a bit lucky, but this gave us the momentum with Luna getting on the score sheet too. And this was wrapped up with a nice give and go between El Shawari and Pedro, with El Shawari slotting the ball under the keeper, giving us the win and promotion into Division 7. Promotion had meant we were already up to level 10 in the season pass, mainly due to the 4000 SP you get at level 6, but this meant we had another choice of shapeshifter players, with Bonaventura, Immobile and Belotti. Immobile seemed to be the popular player, as he was one of the best rated right backs, but our midfield was still the weakest part of the team, so we would go with Belotti as our CDM, as he has all the defensive playstyles and pinged past and press proven plus. For the premium side, it was a choice between Douglas Luiz, Jan Couto and Samuel Lino, and from these three, Lino stood out the most, with his insane stats like 97 dribbling, and also quick step plus, rapid, low driven plus, and long ball, which may be good. We will need to try out long ball to see how good it is on the Switch. We would then collect the rest of the rewards, giving us a 1 of 4 83 plus pick, which gave us Chelsea's Walsh, and some evolutions, which we could give to our players so they would have 4 playstyle pluses, like long ball and block. From the tradable 82x5, we would get a team of the season highlights, and this was LA Galaxy's Gabriel Peck, who we will sell, and this was the team now. We are now in the ultimate team of the season, where the best of the best during team of the season are back, and EA added a lot back. I mean a lot. There was currently 60 team of the seasons available, ranging from De Gea all the way up to the likes of Mbappe, Messi and Ronaldo. So in the menus, we had completed half of the team of the season upgrade completionist, and this gave us an 85x10. Also during this week's promo, for Ultimate Team of the Season, there was also End of Eras available, via objectives and SBCs. Carlos Vela was meant to be one, but EA just seemed to forget about him. In the Objectives tab, there was a Jan Vertonghen End of Era, and all End of Eras now give icon chemistry, which will be huge for our team. In the store, we would open the 85 plus combo, which would give us an Ultimate Team of the Season, and in previous years this would have been great, but with how many Team of the Seasons there were, some of them were not the best, like Bayern Munich's Simon, who is a basic discard, and she does not even make the team, so she will likely be fodder. From the 85x10, we would only get a gold, but this was the joint highest rated gold in the game in Man City's Rodri. Then it was time for us to try out one of the worst SBCs this year, and this was the 82x20 upgrades, which needed 4 86s and 5 85s. And the main issue is that from the pack, you would only usually get 1 or 2 85 or 86s back. And from our pack, we would get Al Hilal's João Cancelo. The next best player would be an 84 rated. Fortunately, in the upgrade packs, we would go on to pack Hedgeberg again, but this pack would have great high rated fodder, which meant we could complete a new player for the club, in an English striker playing for Al Ahly, and this was Ivan Toney, who has 95 shooting and physical, with 93 pace, and 3 fantastic playstyles on the Switch, with rapid, low driven and finesse. Over in the objectives tab, there was a new player, and this was another End of Era, and someone to finally replace Lloris with, and this was Pepe Reina. But this did mean that we had to return to the rush game mode, where Tony felt like the perfect player for this game mode, as his playstyles complemented the high counter-attacking football, and he was surprisingly good defensively. And for one of the games, we would switch to Alba, and he would go on to score a header for us. But then, we would see the other side of Rush, where for one of our games, all 3 of us in defence missed the ball from a throw-in, and we would lose the game because of this. And for a couple games, it started to feel like instead of being 4 versus 4 players outfield, it was actually a 7v1. Fortunately, we would rebound from these games, and Tony would return to his scoring and assisting ways, and this would mean we were able to redeem Reina and all the packs that would come with the ultimate Flash Rush game mode. From the packs, we would get a couple more walkouts for the club with Manchester United's Fernandes and also Lewandowski. So we added Reina to the team, and we would go back into rivals, where we were now facing great sides, like our first opponent, who had 2 97 rated red defenders, Intar and Bastoni, and we would be the first to concede in this game, to a nice cut-in with Barcola. But of course, El Chouari would be the saviour in this game, and he would get another chance, but it was rebounded into Salah, who finished it. And finally, Lino would use his quick step boost, and our opponent's 2 97 rated defenders would collide with each other, giving us a chance to score, and we did, and this gave us the win. We would continue on playing these games, and the front 4 of Pedro, El Chouari and Salah, with Lino as the cam, was really strong, and the quick step seemed to be stronger than the rapid plus, as Lino and Pedro got a lot of chances opening the space. El Shawari was adding flare goals as well, and we were now in the promotion game, where our opponent had an interesting Evo team of the season squad, and the season 7 pass front three of Chiesa, Ferran Torres and Ribery. This would actually be one of the easier promotion games we had faced so far, with El Shawari running through and placing it into the corner, followed up with Salah hitting the finesse. Finally, Pedro would hit a Hail Mary across the pitch, which Salah caught onto and would come into the box and hit the finesse again. And this would be enough for our opponent, and we were now in Division 6. With that, we had completed the first week of the Season 8 weekly play, and this gave us the Team of the Season Global Stars pack, which was a Team of the Season outside of the top 5 men's leagues. And we had also completed the end of era Vertonghen, who with his icon chemistry and jockey plus, we would use him as one of our centre backs. From a random 84x7, we would get our highest rated Team of the Season on the account. This would be a player with 4 playstyle pluses in the Eredivisie in Stein. And from our global pack, we would get a Japanese player from the championship in Ao Tanaka, who looks huge for this account, as he has 96 defending and amazing playstyles for a midfielder, and Relentless Plus, which is better on the Switch, as player stamina does seem to drain quicker compared to the consoles. He also has 4 of the 5 passing playstyles and 4 out of the 6 defending playstyles. From an 84x2, we would get another 96 rated midfielder for the club, and this player was an Italian in Barella, so we went from having no rotation in midfield to a stacked midfield. Additionally, we would complete the Team of the Season crafting upgrade objective, and this gave us 2 massive packs in the 86x7 and the 86x10. From the 86x7, we would get another 96 Team of the Season player, but this was a duplicate Stein. And from the 86x10, we would get a new player for the team, and this would be a Brazilian centre-back from the Saudi League, Ibanez, who has 4 playstyle pluses with Anticipate and Block with 94 defending and 95 physical, and Quick Step, which may be great for a defender. After that, we would go into the SBC section to complete the Team of the Season Premier League guarantee for an 85 and 86 rated squad, but one of the rewards was also an EFL guarantee, which as we already had Tanaka, Dan James was probably the guy we wanted, with his 97 pace and quick step, but we would get a Team of the Season from League 2 in Allen, and our Prem Team of the Season player would be a Serbian centre-back from Nottingham Forest in Milinkovic, and he won't make the team with our current defence. And this was solidified when we would open 85 plus combo upgrade pack and pull the highest rated Team of the Season possible in 97 rated Jonathan Tah, who is just a tank, so our team was really strong. We would also take a gamble in the SBC section in the 91 plus mixed hero player pick, as this was going to be the only way to be able to try the likes of Ginola, Hazard or Lucio, but this did require 4 87s, 4 88s and an 88 rated squad, so it was quite expensive, and our choices would be Immortal Bompasta, Immortal Beasley and Fantasy FC Francescoli, so we would go with Bompasta. Finally, we would complete the guarantee MLS and RSL Team of the Season upgrade, just to have another sliver of hope of using Messi or Ronaldo, and we wouldn't get either one of these, but it was a new player for the squad with a Cape Verde centre-back from the Columbus Crew in Moreira, who has Jockey and Anticipate, and for us the important thing was his alternate position of right back. With that, we added the players to the team, and our overall squad was now 95 rated, so we would return to Rivals for games in Division 6, where our first opponent had Shaw up front, who is one of the best value strikers in the game, and she showed us why, with her breezing through our defence and tapping it bottom corner. Again, El Shawari would be our main man up top, and by the end of the game, our opponent had given up, and we scored the open goal, and this had got us to level 13 in the Season Pass, which gave us an 84 1 of 2 pick, which we had the options of Stones or Lavelle, so we went with Lavelle, but it also gave us the left wing plus rolls plus, which meant we could give this to Salah, and this gave him the ability to play on the left wing, but more importantly, it gave him a chemistry boost. Returning back to Rivals, it was back to playing insane team after insane team, and one of the first things I do is give away a penalty, which Patelas steps up and slots it away. Pedro would get us back into the game, but it would come down to a set piece by Tanaka in the 87th minute, which he would whip around the wall, giving us the lead and the win. But the next game would highlight that I was still struggling for crosses. Maybe on the Switch you need tall defenders, but El Shawari and Lino would help us get the lead in the game. But in the middle of the second half, we would experience Henry was playing in the NBA and screened our centre-back to allow the easy goal against us. And this would end our winning run in Rivals. We were still undefeated, but we had lost the winning streak. The next game was a lot easier, and this meant we had finally got the 1,000 points to qualify for FUT Champions. With this, we would grab Salah's evolution, which meant he now got full chemistry in the team, and we would go straight into the Champs qualifiers, against a weaker team of the season squad, but there was a red Benzema up top. El Shawari, being the GOAT on the switch, would open up the scoring, followed by some unlucky 50s going against us, with Benzema hitting the finesse. But we would have a corner in which Moreira would leap into the air and connected with the bicycle kick, giving us the win. With Champs, you only needed to get one win to qualify, so he had just qualified. Then in the store, we would go and grind the SBCs a bit more, where we would get a tradable Verts who went for a few K. This was then followed up with an 82 rated Davies, who was worth more than Verts, and this was most likely due to his pace, and highlighted how crucial pace on the Switch was. We then completed the 2 of 3 85 plus upgrade, which gave us Free Gang, who has 4 playstyle pluses and has 96 pace and 95 shooting, and can play as a striker if needed, with her low driven plus. We would then do all the remaining main league team of the season guarantees just to see if we could get any more big pulls, otherwise they will all be fodder. From Ligue 1, we would get Rulli, Bundesliga gave us Doan, and the Serie A would give us Yildiz. Also from an 85x3, we would get a new team of the season, who is 95 rated, in Nusken, who will be a super sub if needed with how versatile she is. Before the Champs run, there was one more round of friendlies we needed to do, as the overall reward was Hummels' end of era card, and this was the ultimate team of the season cup, and as we could not use 96 or higher rated players, we had to revert the team back to this, but it was still a strong side, excluding the gold cards. The nice thing with this though, was that our opponents had the same problem, and now with most people having ultimate team of the season players in their usual squads, so they also had to revert back to using gold cards. And in the friendlies mode, we would not have to worry as it was an unlimited amount of games, so it was a lot more casual, and Boanga and El Shawari were the 2 stars of the team for this mode. And we were now halfway through, and this meant we had got a new end of era player in Villa's Corsi, who has all the defensive playstyles with pinged pass and 90 plus in all face stats apart from shooting, so she looks like she'll be a fantastic CDM for the team. But we would replace Saliba in the friendlies mode, and El Shawari would continue his form, and double flicking the analog could be broken if used correctly, as it gives space, but this would be wrapped up with Kelly hitting it across body for the win. We'd fully completed the ultimate team of the season cup, which gave us end of era Hummels, who with a shadow looks great, but he did have slide tackle plus instead of something like jockey or bruiser plus, which was unfortunate. From the packs in this, we would go on to get some more players for the club, with Endler and Reeton, Verts, and 90 rated Kevin De Bruyne. In the season pass, we were now level 15, which gave us Alicia Lehmann and Jack Grealish, and these were bundled together for a certain reason. If you know, you know. But they were 2 very good players. Lehmann with her 4 playstyle pluses in Jockey, Anticipate, Quick Step, and Relentless, so she seemed perfect for the switch. She also has 99 pace, Grealish had rapid and 98 pace, with pinged pass, so we added him into the team, and this was our Champs team. So let's get into our Champs games. Game 1, we come up against Inigo Martinez, Vieira, strong team. That's a cracking ball. Oh, what a save, Rayner. Nice play. Is that a red? Was that last man? Go on, El Shawari. Off the bar. Nice pass and play. El Shawari's through. Near post. Oh, that's a cracking save. Great cross. Go on, Belotti, my 5-foot giant. Through ball. Salah with a finesse. 2-0 up. Nice play. Go on, Lino, and again. Is that a rage quit? Nice. Game 2. We're up against De Gea, Red Fonzie, Elise, and Red Haaland with Diaby. Nice. Just a fake shot again. Just breaking ankles. Across body. That's why he's the GOAT. Oh, Haaland's done me. And he scored from it. Good finish. Go on, Pedro. We take those. We're back in the lead. Oh, I've left him open. Oh, it was a mistake pulling out Lehmann. Through ball. Come on, Pedro. Finish your chance. We're back in the lead. Nice for the cross. Take a touch. Great play. That has to be a red. Surely. He was nowhere near the ball. Great for us. Let El Shawari take this one with a quick whip. Top corner. What a free kick. Could this also be a rage quit? 2-0. Game number 3. And we're coming up against another De Gea, Tanaka and Tony. Contrary, crossbody. Oh, I've pulled the defender out. Ah, sloppy by me. Nice ball again. Oh, Belotti. Ball roll. Crossbody. Nice, Pedro. Game number 4. Milinkovic-Savic, all red of Meccano, and Vinny J. Nice ball. Dino cut in. Low driven. With finesse. That's a big save. Man like Tanaka. Oh, I should have passed with Hummels. What am I doing? And he's through. Go on, El Shawari. What a finish. The final game for this champs run. UCL Donnarumma and UCL Dembele. Nice chip through ball. Lino with a low driven. 1-0 up. That's a great ball. Oh, what a save, Reina. Got a bit lucky there. Let's just pass and play. El Shawari's through. Crossbody. That's thanks to Reina. Do some fancy flicks. Pen. The ref's not seeing things clearly. I don't know how we've not got a pen there. Okay, deserved. Nice ball. Finesse Salah. Oh, we need to stop Barry. Oh, Barry's cut in. Good goal. Let's just keep running. Oh, and the keeper's out. I think there's a bit of head loss here. We take those. So we were on a perfect 5-0 start, which meant we had gotten the first objective of the Team of the Season Champions heritage, which gave us a 1 of 3 93 plus MLS/RSL Team of the Season Champions pick, which gave us a choice between Ricky Pige, Guzan and Reagan. Reagan was the choice. We would return to champs, and we had kept up our momentum as our players up front were firing on all sides. But I was missing easy chances, and this would come to haunt us, as we would concede from a cross, and where I did have the higher XG, but we would get the loss. We would continue playing and return to winning ways, and we're getting the ways how to play on the Switch. But as the player pool was so limited on the Switch, we would face up against an opponent who was very good, and their team was also great with FUT Champs Vardy, so that just highlighted how good of a player this was, and we would concede to a free kick, our first loss to them. We would face off against them again, which I would take another L again. And finally, what's this? It was the same opponent again, to which I would lose again as they were just a better player. So there goes our chances of rank 2. But El Shawari would get us some more goals, and in the final game, we would step up for the free kick and smash it in. As we had got 11 wins and could not get to rank 2, we gave away the final game, and this would give us rank 3, so we had hit our target. Before the rewards, we got some of the champion heritage reds in the 1 of 3 Bundesliga and GPFBL, and this gave us 95 rated pop. Then it was time for the 1 of 3 Liga and APL pack, which gave us a choice of Højbjerg, Uthren and Rabiot, so we went with Rabiot. And then for the 1 of 3 Serie A pick, it was a choice between Sakagni, Lukaku and Thuram, and as big forwards seemed to be useful, we would go with Lukaku. Now it was time for our rewards from champs, where we had gotten rank 3, which it gave us 2 of 5 85 plus player picks, 2 1 of 4 Ultimate Champs picks, an 85 by 10, an 88 by 2, 2 Ultimate Team of the Season players, 1 Ultimate Premium Team of the Season pack, an 84 by 25, and 100,000 coins. From the picks, we would get Griezmann, Basha, Erdegaard, and Hedgeberg. From the first pick, from the Reds, we would get Moreira, Alexander-Arnold, Peugeot, and Sams. So Peugeot was the choice. From the Reds, the second pick was much better, giving Isaac, Rodman, Letitia, and Barella. So we would go with Isaac. Then we had the final last picks of the Champions Heritage, which was a 1 of 3 La Liga or Liga F player, which gave us Lewandowski, Alvarez, and Valverde, to which we chose Alvarez. And the final red pick was a 1 of 5 Prem or WSL pick, which gave out Liverpool's McAllister for us. Going on to the packs in the store that we had received, from the 84 by 25, we would get our joint highest rated pull, and this was Man City striker Shaw. And at the back of this pack, we had also got Declan Rice, but this highlighted the difference between console and Switch, as Shaw was less than 50k on console, but on the Switch, she was still over 150,000 coins. From the Ultimate Team of the Season Premium pack, we would get another Moreira as our highest rated player. But this was not the best player in the pack, as this was in the back of the pack, and this would be Diaby with his 99 pace and the Rapid Plus playstyle, so he may be one of the best wingers for the account. Then for our tradable Team of the Season packs, we would start off with Mariona, who is discard price, and for our second pack, it would be Freegan. So this was how the team would look at the end of our FUT Champs run. It was time now for our Division Rivals rewards, and we were now in the Shapeshifters promo. So for our rewards, we got a 3 1 of 4 85 plus player pick, 1 max 95 rated Team of the Season or Shapeshifter player, 2 84 by 10s, Prime Gold Players pack, and 17,500 coins. From the picks, we would get our first Shapeshifter in Kogel, and from the pack, which was a guaranteed Team of the Season or Shapeshifter, we would get a 95 rated player, and his name is so good you have to say it twice, in JJ Okocha, who has good playstyles and still has his Trickster. From the 84 by 10, we would get another Shapeshifter from the United States at right back in Swanson, and she has 96 pace and dribbling with rapid and jockey plus playstyles, so she will be added to the team. Finally, the UEFA Nations squad was currently available, and these were extremely rare, but we nearly had 370,000 coins, so we would open up the 90 plus picks to give us a chance of getting one of these exclusive players. From our first pick, we got the options of Acerbi, Company, regular gold Rodri, gold Kevin De Bruyne, and Milito. So this was not the best, but did give us a new goalkeeper in Company. Hopefully the second pick was much better, and it was, as this gave us Elise, who was 750,000 coins on the Switch. We also got a star performer in Vega, Okocha, highest rated player in the game in 98 rated Konate, and Kogel. It would have been nice if a few of those players were in the first pick, but this was the final team on the Switch, and this is how it started to how it is now. And as we got rank 3 and have a 96 rated squad, this meant we had beaten FC 25 on the Switch too.